Happy Sunday, Monarchs. This is Dr. C coming to you from the main office at Coleridge Taylor Montessori. As always, our vision is that we empower all students to achieve academic success, socio-emotional growth, and the development of global and cultural competencies that will ensure future success. Our mission at Coleridge Taylor Montessori is to provide a safe, hands-on, rigorous learning experience rooted in the Montessori method. In partnership with students, parents, caregivers, and staff, we will support the growth and potential of each and every child. And our core values: empathy, respect, equity, collaboration, and academic success. Our Monarch promise: we, the Monarchs of Coleridge Taylor Montessori, value one another. We honor our differences and show empathy towards others. We respect ourselves, others, and our school. We collaborate as a community and work towards equity. We are empowered to reach academic success and become next generation leaders. Our Kde Improvement Priorities. The first one is about that shared vision, mission, and collective commitments that guide how we teach and learn in this building and provide high expectations and rigor for all students as we collectively improve. Number 2 is committing to monitoring the school's behavior management system that supports a safe learning environment and a positive school culture for all. And 3, providing our teachers and staff with purposeful professional development that supports their needs to grow. It's spooky season, friends. It's spooky season. And it's also Red Ribbon Week. So let's all work to be drug-free this week. And we have some thematic days that we'll share with you later on in this presentation. I wanted to let parents know that Test to Stay began last weekend and Test to Play will begin on November 1st. So for Test to Stay, what happens is if your child is identified as somebody who's been in close contact with a positive case of coronavirus, but they don't have any symptoms, each evening they can go, beginning the first day that they were quarantined, to a JCPS Sphere testing site to be tested. Those results from that test will be emailed to you and also shared with the school the next morning, and the child can come to school if they have a negative test result. And this process will be repeated each day as directed by the JCPS Health Services Department. For Test to Play, which begins on November 1st, details are still being worked out, but elementary students who participate in those extracurricular activities will be required to participate in this program. And what this means is that if your child stays after school for anything at CTM, whether it's sports, She Became, or some other club that will be starting in November, they will be required to participate in the Test to Play program, and they would be tested once a week. There will be more details coming from that program from JCPS later this week, and there are some links in the body of the newsletter that I share via email. Some big reminders. I wanted to let you all know we're hiring CTM families. The link is embedded in the newsletter. Please share that with your qualified friends and family. We have instructional assistant positions open. We have a cafeteria position open, and we also have a first grade teaching position open. So please share that with your qualified friends and family. We would love to have them on our team if they qualify. I also want to give a special shout out to parents who have not been double parking and are dropping their students off in the car rider line. The car rider line is easier, safer, quicker. They get every single bit of what kids at the front door get. There's a breakfast kiosk back there. They get greeted. They're directed to their classrooms or walk to their classrooms. It is the same, but probably better because we're not going to be clogging up Chestnut Street with double parking. So remember that if you live in our direct school community, meaning a mile radius around our school, and you're a walker, but maybe you drive to school in the morning, please go to the car rider line. We appreciate that. And we also appreciate you helping keep all of our students safe. A big reminder, even though it's spooky season, please don't let your children bring candy to school. It will be confiscated. It's also against our health and wellness policy. No candy at school, no candy for lunch, no candy for breakfast. no candy for snack, no candy sharing, no candy at school. Another big reminder, we are striving to create a safe, empathetic, and respectful school community where we all use kind words and kind actions, from adults to students, from parents and community members to adults and students. Please help us by setting a good example for your students in your personal conduct while you're on our property and with our school staff. Please make sure that your language is positive and purposeful and is free of curse words. We appreciate your help with that. And then the last big reminder, I wanted to let you know that Kentucky state law governs what adult behaviors are allowed on and around school property, as well as what parents and caregivers do and say to school staff. Please know that verbal abuse by parents and caregivers towards any staff person at CTM will not be tolerated, and there will be consequences for the adults involved. We thank you for your continued cooperation, and if you have specific questions about any of these big reminders, from the hiring to the Kentucky state law component, please reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to share and give you some more information. And a final big reminder, please do not send any students to school sick. If your child has vomiting, diarrhea, runny nose, fever, stay home. Contact your medical provider for next steps. And medication, if your child has it, can be dropped off with the school nurse at the main entrance. Students must have their medication in the correct packaging in order for it to be given to them. As a reminder, we're working on our Monarch 3. Our PBIS team met a while ago to look at some student data, and they made some recommendations on next steps. So what we're going to be focusing on for at least the next 9 weeks are these 3 big rules. Students must stay in their area. They must stay in their assigned seats, their line order, the classroom line, the line at the bathroom, whatever their assigned area is, they must stay in that area. 2, hands, body, and objects to themselves. They need to keep their hands to themselves, their body to themselves, and their objects to themselves in every area of the building. And then the last one, which I talked about just a moment ago, is kind words and kind actions. So our students should only say and do things that are kind to each other, are helpful or positive to their peers and the adults around them. So again, stay in your area, hands, body, and objects to yourself, kind words, kind actions. Please help reinforce those 3 things at home so that we can have successful learning at school and we can help reduce some of our behaviors. What's happening in classrooms this week? Part of our Improvement Priority 1, classroom instruction that's rigorous. Workshop model, teachers are continuing to work on that workshop model. Those small group stations or rotations for reading, writing, and math workshop, we appreciate our teachers doing that. They're doing an amazing job. And then this week, the second half of the week, we're going to practice win time rotations, probably beginning Thursday or Friday. What we're going to do is we're going to prepare our students to move into different groups so that we can start the acceleration. So as I mentioned last week, our kids are going to be reassigned to groups at the beginning of the day. Win time starts at 9:15 and goes until 9:45. And what they will do is they will be with every single adult in the building, including myself, will be working with a small group to focus their acceleration in reading standards for the next few weeks. So just know that is going to be happening. So we're going to practice our rotations so that kids know where they're supposed to go and that teachers understand the process. We're really looking forward to this innovative strategy to support students. So more on that soon. Chromebooks, if you have a Chromebook that you received because your child was on quarantine, please send that back to school as soon as your child is off of quarantine. And then the second thing is if you have a Chromebook from any school in JCPS from last year, that needs to come back to school so that it can be returned. It doesn't work. It has been disabled by the district, so go ahead and bring it back so that it can be re-imaged. As I mentioned the past few weeks, a reminder, social media and elementary students, they shouldn't have it. Per the federal regulations on social media, you should be 13 years old in order to be on social media. And what do we mean when we talk about social media? We're talking about Instagram. We're talking about TikTok. We're talking about WhatsApp and even YouTube. Okay. While I know that parents will allow their students to be on these apps, it is important that they are monitored regularly. And also, children should not be using these apps without an adult right next to them, observing and seeing what they're doing. We've had a lot of students that have come into the building knowing things that are far advanced for them, whether they learned it on TikTok, Netflix, or some other media. Please help us by providing opportunities for your students to read. Students should be reading 20 to 30 minutes every night, grade level text, instead of being on a device. Help us out. It will benefit your child in the future, and it'll also help them stay focused on learning while they're at school. We talked about previously, in order to support that positive behavior and our Monarch expectations, making sure that kids don't have access to technology unsupervised, making sure that they are not on social media because it's age restricted, making sure that you're having conversations with your students about what's appropriate to say and do at home and at school, and reinforce those Monarch expectations, the Monarch 3, staying in your area, hands, feet, and objects to self, and kind words, kind actions. And that reading at home, and then as long as the weather's good, playing outside supervised or completing work that's been sent home for completion or homework. And then let them know that if anything happens, they need to report it to an adult. And teachers are always ready to hear what kids have to say in this building. So please, if your child has told you something and then you find out that they haven't shared it with the teacher, let us know about that, specifically the teacher. Support us at home. Remember, school consequences should be followed up with consequences at home that are developmentally appropriate and age appropriate. And then if you need help or you have questions, please reach out. We will be there to support you because we want you to be successful and your student to be successful as well. It's Red Ribbon Week. Here are our themes for the week. Monday is be a superhero, be drug-free, dress like a superhero. Tuesday is don't get mixed up in drugs. Dress wacky, wear mismatched clothes and crazy hair. Wednesday is I'm too bright for drugs, wear neon and bright colors. It's also picture day on Wednesday. So that's going to be an amazing thing to see everybody dressed so beautifully and brightly in our school yearbook, because we're going to have one this year, friends. Thursday, I'm drug-free. I can grow up to be anything. Dress up as what you want to be when you grow up, so it's like a career day. And then Friday is literacy day. Dress up as your favorite book character. Okay? Friday is literacy day. Dress up as your favorite book character. Again, those are our themes for Red Ribbon Week. October 27th is fall pictures. You should have received an email and a paper. The email was sent to the email that the district has in Infinite Campus. If you didn't get that email, please check your child's backpack for the fall picture paper. When time practice for students in school will be the second half of the week. And then we are going to be having a KDE, a Kentucky Department of Education 2-day review. And what that review is going to be in November is focus on what we've worked on since January 2020. So we're looking forward to having that and showing off some of the amazing things that our teachers and our students are doing. Continued information, if you want to read some more about our Test to Stay program and Test to Play program, please know that that is embedded in the newsletter. And as always, we have Wild Health Wednesdays. Wild Health Wednesdays, your student needs to complete, or you need to complete a consent form for your student on Parent Place. And remember, we do this every Wednesday. It happens around 2 p.m. every Wednesday. Last week, we tested 108 students, so that was great. And almost all of our staff were tested, so I appreciate that. This is a great way to help make sure that we are mitigating and avoiding COVID in this building. So, testing weekly is a great way. Wearing masks over nose and mouth. And remember, if your child cannot do that because they have a developmental delay or a special need, we must have a mask waiver on file. And then the third thing is making sure that we're washing our hands with warm, soapy water for at least 30 seconds. 20 to 30 seconds is a way to help keep COVID away. If your child has been in contact with a positive COVID case or is tested positive for COVID-19, you need to let us know immediately so that we can do what we need to do to help mitigate the spread of COVID here in our building. And I know that many families are excited. I know my family is excited because the FDA and the CDC are going to be approving very, very soon the COVID shot for students or children ages 5 to 11. I have 4 kids. My oldest is 14, and he received the COVID shot this summer, had no issues. So I'm looking forward to having the rest of my students, my family, be vaccinated for COVID so that we can do our part to get back to normal. And as a reminder, if you see Dr. C out on the street, me and Mr. Baker directing traffic, is because we're trying to keep you, your car, and your student, which is most important to us, safe. Please do not double park in the morning during arrival. Please go to the back of the building and drop off at the car rider door. You don't have to be a car rider every single day or in the afternoon to go to car rider, but in the morning, it's the safest thing if you're not a true walker. And when I mean a true walker is somebody who does not have a vehicle for transportation and does in fact walk. Those are the students that we'll be accepting at the front door. So from last week on, if you drive to school, you need to go in the back door through car rider. Okay? Thank you for that. And if you want to check out and see our other Monarch Messenger reminders, you can see them in the body of the message. And we hope that you have a magical Montessori week. This past week, we had a special visitor. Dr. Polio came, and he was very impressed with our students and our teachers. And he was very complimentary of the work that we are doing here at CTM. You can see some of those photos on the Facebook page and also on our Twitter page. If you have questions about anything, you need support, we've got you. We're here for you. Let us know and reach out. This is Carmichael coming from the principal's office on Sunday. Take care. Peace.